Hi, I'm going to be unboxing Fury, which is Battlefront's new Flames of War starter set. It basically covers World War II tank combat in a microcosm. You've got 5 tanks and various other bits and pieces in it. So let's have a look at the parts. So the box is fairly full, that's everything in the box. Let's put all the paper and stuff to the side for the moment and get straight to the toys. Okay, so we've got 2 German sprues here. Let's push everything aside and look at this one first. So, what we have here is a Tiger tank, very famous. If you've seen the movie Fury, that's the one that they fought in the field. Now, this tank is pretty big, as you can see. It's 1/100th scale, 15mm, so the figures are 15mm high. It's got all the parts you need. It's got hull, turret, tracks, guns, everything for a late war Tiger. Pretty awesome. The other German tank that comes in the box is a Stug. This is an assault gun. So you can see it's got no turret, but it's got 2 varieties of hull top for an earlier and later model. It's also got several different gun options. It's got 105mm, 75mm, and different mantlets. It's got the rounded Sauerkopf mantlet and a square boxy mantlet. It's got side skirts, it's got tracks, all the things you'd expect to find there. Pretty awesome little kit. So that's the German tanks in the box. Then it's got 2 of this sprue, which is a Sherman tank. Let's look at one of them first. So again, a pretty straightforward little kit. Hull, tracks, turret, 75mm gun, all the bits and pieces you'd expect for a basic Sherman. Now, the second one comes with this additional sprue. It's got a new hull for a later model. Instead of having the hatches poking out, they made it simpler with a straighter hull front and the bigger turret mounting a 76mm gun for more firepower and punch. So you can either make them both as 75s or one of them is a 76. Pretty awesome options. And this is a 2-part sprue by the look of it. We have here an M10. That's a tank destroyer. So it's got lots of options on this sprue. We've got an all hull and then we've got 2 different turrets. Looks like this is an M36 turret. The box is actually intended to be made as an M10 and then there's an M10 turret here. Different guns, in fact it looks like 3 different guns. We've got a 76mm here for the M10. We've got a 17-pounder for the British up gun version and a 90mm for the M36. Lots of options, all the different breeches and so forth, so plenty of detail showing inside the turret when it's assembled. And we have a sprue of crew here for them. So you can have your German crew, looks like German crew on this side, and American crew in the various American vehicles, including the tank destroyer. Oh no, that's an American guy there with his helmet. Those guys look like Germans, so pretty awesome. Everything you need there. So what's all the paperwork? Okay, we've got dice, always a good thing. So we've got cardboard terrain, there's 2 sheets of it. Oops, we've knocked out a bit there. But it's got, what's that, 5 buildings, some walls, and various tokens and objectives so that you can play straight away on your kitchen table or something and have a little bit of terrain to hide in, hide around, fight around and so forth, and some objectives to take. I'm sure we'll see more of that in the rulebook in a moment. Okay, we've got a start here guide. Just have a quick look through it. How to assemble your tanks. So it tells you which parts you're going to need from the sprues we saw before and how to put them together. Nicely packaged, keep everything together. Right, so we've got unit cards here. So this one's some movement orders telling you how you can do special movement orders in the game. There's a card for the Tiger, a card for the Stug, a movement orders card for the American player, a Sherman with a 76, a Sherman with a 75, and an M10. So they're all the cards you need for those sprues in the game. And here's Flames of War, the core rules. This is the full Flames of War rulebook. It's 114 pages long, but don't panic too much. It's got a quick start guide in the beginning, a whole lot of history, and the rules themselves are fairly short. And then it's got a whole lot of stuff on the various nationalities. So there's a section on the Soviets, how to pick a force, and playing various missions. So it's got another 10 missions in here, and quick reference sheets and all those other useful things, an index. So that's the full rulebook. You can buy a bigger one in hardback if you want, but that's everything you need there. But before you go into that, here's the core rules that come with the game. So we've got movement, shooting, shooting at tanks, armor saves, shooting at infantry, assaults, fighting and assaults, tanks and assaults, and the morale rules with last stand. And if you read that, you'll know everything you need to know to play a game of Flames of War. You can then assemble your tanks, pop out the terrain, put it on the table, and have a game. So Fury is a great way to start in Flames of War. If you've never played a war game before, you've never played a World War II war game before, this is the place to go. You and your opponent, you can have a game, get used to the idea of the rules, see how you like it. When you love it, you're going to go and buy an army. And the back here suggests the best way of doing that. You can either buy the Hit the Beach box, which gives you more Germans and more Americans all at once, or you can go and buy a specific American or German army. These little boxes here come with a complete army. Add them to the forces you've got, and you've got a really solid force to start with. There's also Soviet and British starter forces available if you don't want to go with the Americans and Germans. This is definitely the way to get into Flames of War. Thank you.